Yeah, we got a great deal on a motorcycle for you. Well, tell me about this bike. Well, it's got 2 wheels and a seat.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
And it goes real good.
Yeah, and it goes vroom.
Right. So anyway, big shout out there to Todd and Kevin and the good folks over there at Top Gun Motorsports, as well as Steve and Randy and the guys at Speed Ranch. A lot of help today. You guys, I love you. And there just isn't any better place to go to get help.
Cool. And speaking of help, and how's this for a little segue? We're going to segue out of that into help. Now, I got to tell you, one of the places you guys know me, everybody who knows Warren and has been hanging around me for any period of time knows that I am the eBay guy. I love eBay.
Because it's cheap.
Because I'm cheap as hell. I like to pay a small amount. I like to get a deal. I won't make any bones about it.
I hate to pay full price.
Maybe it's the nose. I don't know. But I hate to pay full price for something. I love to get a deal on something. If I get something I like and I like it, it's even better if I get a deal on it.
Absolutely.
And so I am constantly in a mode where I'm trying to get a deal on stuff. And for a guy who's a compulsive motorcycle builder, it's bad because every part becomes a challenge. Every single part. It's like, I want a tail light. It's like a 3-week search for the perfect tail light. It's got to be the want versus the will it fit versus is the price right? And is there will it fit this bike? All the specifications and stuff. So I'm constantly playing around, and Wendy will verify this. I'm an eBay guy, man. I spend a lot of time on there. Now, I got to tell you, I've been doing eBay for many, many, many years. Mm-hmm. The last time I got ripped off on eBay was about 6 years ago.
Right.
When I made a mistake and I bought some heads from a guy in Canada.
I remember
not to diss Canada, but hey guys, the guy sent me some shit heads. They were just no good.
Yeah,
they were wallered out. The bolts weren't any good. He wouldn't make it right. They were stuck in customs for 3 weeks. It was a bad deal. And it was my fault for not looking at the pictures enough. He said, "Oh, they're 75% good." And I was like, 75% good? Boy, I'll take that. What I didn't realize was 20% of it was the wallered out bolts, which is a big problem.
Sure.
So anyway, that was the last time I did it. Ever since then, I've been very, very careful. But recently, and I want to sort of alert folks out there to this, I got ripped off again on eBay. And this is becoming a sort of common thing, and it's very, very hard to catch. And, most people are hip now to the sophisticated ripoffs. Nobody's going to Western Union somebody $10,000 for a bike in Algeria. Nobody's going to send, $15,000 to a place off in, some Western Union in Germany or something. Right. They're just not going to do that. The ripoffs that are out there. About the Saudi prince who wants to, put all the money in the bank and all that garbage. The standard ripoff stuff now if you've been online. But this is a new one. And I want to alert you folks to this. Now, I'm not going to go into too much depth on this, but suffice it to say, this is kind of the way the eBay ad looks. Let's just zoom in on this just a little bit. And what I want to do is give you an idea about how much copy there is about this thing. See, let's take a look at that right there. See, we got a headlight right there, and it looks really good. It's a good-looking headlight, and boy, do they talk about it. They got all this text, and this headlight fits everything, and here's the dimensions on it, and here's what it's good for, and here's all the different brands of motorcycles that'll fit, and it's a smoking deal, and look at this, here's our company information, and we're very upfront. Don't give us a bad thing, contact us first, and they really went all out about this particular headlight. And I was in the market for a headlight, and I thought it was a pretty cool looking headlight. It was okay for what I wanted to do. It was for the gasser, and it had a kind of car look to it, and I thought that's pretty cool. So what I did was it wasn't really an auction because nobody else was really looking at it. I think I put in, I forget how much I put on. I think it was like 34 or 44. It was $44. I put in $44 on it, which for a headlight I thought was a good price. And then, $17 to ship it. I figured, there it is, $44. And how much to ship it? I got to go to Daylight Vision, $16.99 to ship it. So we're up in the 60 odd buck range. And I got my headlight. I got it right here.
This is a page, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to love this.
So I got it, and I opened my headlight, and I was really happy, man. I said, okay, well, there's some bracketing and some stuff in there.
This is the headlight box.
This is the headlight box, and I got it, and I pulled it out, and I went, wow, look at this headlight. This headlight is really cool. And I went, God, man, that thing looks great. Look at how cool that is for $45. Man, that's a smoking deal, except for one thing. It's plastic.
Plastic.
It's made of plastic. So I don't know about you guys that are building bikes and putting stuff together, but I ain't going to put a plastic headlight on my bike. I want to put a chrome headlight or a bucket or billet or something, but I'm going to put plastic on there. And then you look at this back, it's got this big-ass hole in the back of it that lets you see into the plastic. And there's nothing that covers this. It's just a big-ass hole in the plastic. So, not only do you got that lovely plastic sound, but it's got a big-ass hole in it.
You could cover that with duct tape.
Well, yeah, you put duct tape over the plastic. Yeah. So I went, man, this is a ripoff, man. I got to get in touch with these guys. I got to tell them I'm not happy. I got to, let them know, blah, 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 because, I'm warned, man, they're not going to get away with this stuff, and I'm not going to put plastic on my bike. They didn't tell me this. They ripped me off, blah, blah, blah. I'm getting all fierce and mighty and all prickly, and, I'm going to give them but then here's what happened. I went back through the site, because I thought, well, if I'm going to give these guys a ration, then I better make 100% sure that there is nothing on here that says it's plastic. So I'm reading to it. It's DOT approved. It's a chrome headlight with a mount.
DOT approved.
It's a DOT approved headlight.
DOT sticker on it?
I don't know. They said it was DOT approved, but here,
like a helmet.
Here in the very small text right here, it says, and I'll read the exact thing here: chromed plated plastic with metal bracket. So there it is in this little file. Here, zoom in on that if you can. Let's get the camera in on that. Go ahead, zoom in on that. There's where it says exactly what's going on with this.
Warren, Warren, you got zoomed.
I got taken. I got Warren Fuller, the king of the eBay deals, got zoomed on by a guy selling plastic headlights. So what this tells you is, in the future, you got to be really careful about buying these kind of items on eBay now, because who would have thought that it never even crossed my mind. But I went over to visit a buddy of mine. I went over to visit Patrick. I won't call you the wrong name this time, Patrick, at 23deluxe.com. 23 Deluxe is here in Denver. You can get them online at www.23deluxe.com. And 23 Deluxe, believe it or not, is a Volkswagen speed shop. But he does all kinds of fabrication.
Right.
He does all kinds of parts. He does all kinds of pieces.
Sure.
And he's into bikes just as much as he's into Volkswagens.
Cool.
But his primary stuff is building VWs. But I've found that there's a lot of cool car stuff that fits on motorcycles. So let me show you. Let me show you what I got from it. This is so hip.
This ought to be good.
I'm a happy guy
with
this deal.
for this.
I'm a happy guy with this. So I go over
running down my leg.
I go over to Patrick's. Well, Patrick, man, I got ripped off by this deal. And I'm telling him I got burned on that, and he comes up with this thing, man. And you got to check.
What in the name?
You're gonna love this, man.
That?
You're gonna love this, man. I mean, this is a hap and hip.
Look at the size.
Look at the size of this booger, man. I mean, I said I wanted like this big old style car headlight thing on there.
Well, that's what you got.
Look at that sucker, man. Look at that beast. Is that a big? It's 7 inches across, man. So for that isn't what 12 inches looks like. That's what 7 inches looks like, in case you're wondering. But that is a 7-inch headlight. And once again, I got it from Patrick over at 23 Deluxe. You can call him at 303-806-8062. And I think he gave me this for like $35.
Wow.
Okay, now that's the shell for $35.
And that's made of that's a metal bucket.
It's metal. Trust me. You can't. There you go. Here's the metal set. Here, we'll get it to the mic.
Well,
that's the metal sound right there.
That's going to be the headlight on the gasser.
This is the gasser light. And okay, now I had to buy a bulb for $20, but I bought a halogen bulb for $20 that he sold me. And so I'm like, I'm like 50 some odd bucks into this deal. It's a whopping ass headlight. I got the bulb up and I'm set to jet. And this just goes to show you, ladies and gentlemen, that while you can get deals on eBay, you can sweat blood and bid and do all that stuff. And that's lots of fun. Don't forget the little guy who's right in town, because this is a prime example of the little guy just kicking ass on the deals on eBay. I mean, look at the